We're rolling.
Wow. I'm slightly disappointed. It doesn't look as good as I thought.
It looks spectacular in the flesh.
It does, yeah.
But this sort of test pattern, I think, is doing it for me. I mean, it's making the camera go a bit wobbly, but we're all good.
What's making the camera go wobbly?
Well, it's offending my eyes. It's so fucking intense. No, you think this is?
Oh, it's good. It's just I'm just really gutted. Oh, it looks alright.
No,
I suppose.
it looks great. I mean, it's very dinner. That's a proper DJ.
Well, it's a big event. We're back.
It's furry as well.
Yeah.
But we're back, aren't we?
We're back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while for me.
It's been. Yeah, let's just get straight to it. Where have you been, Chris? Because everyone wants to know. I'm bored of answering questions.
Oh, well, that's very sympathetic of you.
Well, no, it's just a simple fact.
All right. I've had a difficult time, let's put it that way, and I think we're going to come on to this later on in this news show because it's probably going to be titled something like "The News, Motorbikes and Mental Health." So I've had a bit of an episode, and I'm not through it now, but there's lots that I've learned. There's been lots of communication that I've had with lots of you guys. I do like a little walking channel now in the mornings, and yeah, there's lots to go on. But yeah, so I've had a bit of a rough time. I'm coming out of it now, thanks to my mates and my wonderful girlfriend Jen. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, I think I would be in serious trouble. So and my family and everyone that supported me. So thank you all hugely for that. It's amazing. But let's get more into that later, and let's have a bit more bants, a bit more wisecracks. Get back into the news because it's been a while, and I mean, there's not much news really, is there?
No.
But
still, welcome to the news.
Yeah, we can just make stuff up anyway. Yeah. Everyone else does, don't they? Well, I think we have more integrity than other news channels, mainstream media. So what are we going to go with? We've got a new rig. We've got a new mic rig.
Yeah, the podcast rig.
How close do we need to go to it?
Well, that's fine. I mean, we can see the monitor here.
Okay.
As long as we're in you can see that's me there. As long as you're registering.
Which one am I?
You're number 2.
And you're number 1, are you?
4.
Oh, okay. 2
and 4. That's what I've gone with.
Nice.
But as long as we maintain this kind of distance, and you don't, you can move around. If you're coming over here, I can bring it over here and still keep talking, and the sound doesn't go.
Sorry, I just got an email.
Oh, so did I. Yeah. Oh, just a live order. Thank you to Tim Bottom.
Tim Bottom. Sorry.
Thanks, Tim.
T-Butt.
Shout out to Tim.
Shout out to
Great
Tim
choice.
Bottom.
Great choice.
What did he buy? Did he buy a pair of bottoms?
He bought a green lockdown hoodie. Well done.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Tim.
Sorry. He must get that all the time, though. Oh. Next. It's not that we're laughing at your name. It's that we're laughing because we're children. I'm sorry.
This is the timing of the whole event. It couldn't have got any better, could it?
No. Tim Bottom. Right. So where should we start then?
Shall we start with? I mean, it's the biggest topic of any conversation at the moment for pretty much anything, whether you're travelling or anything. Petrol
and diesel. Yeah, it's been
fuel, gasoline.
Yeah, go-go juice, love juice. There was another one.
Let's just move your thing over here. So when you're turning to me,
okay. Well, why don't we move yours?
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
All right.
You know.
Do we have to? Is that why podcasters? When you always see them?
Yeah, they're just playing constantly, like.
Constantly. Tickling the shaft. Right. Yes. So petrol prices through the roof. That obviously affects not just us moto enthusiasts, but obviously your cars. And your nan's car, and everyone else is in between.
And the heating.
And deliveries as well that you forget, and all the shipping and all of that stuff. Everything.
It's a massive knock-on for everything.
And we're still struggling from the shipping container shortage. That's still happening, although no one's talking about it. All the people in the docks around the world are still sort of ill or off or taking the piss because they've got some sort of disease, and they can't kind of work. So we're in the midst of this quite difficult logistical globalist failure, is actually what I would call it. But
almost double the price for a litre of fuel.
it's not that much.
What? Okay, we're talking. It used to be £1, and now it's
When did it used to be £1?
It wasn't that long ago, mate. It was £1. In fact,
What,
I had
1984.
No, I had
4-star.
I had fuel from Asda in Bristol, and it was under £1, and that was less than a few years ago.
They water that down, though, don't they?
They do, but anyway.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, but I remember in 2008, fuel was also at £1.42, and now I filled up yesterday at £1.68.
What? Diesel?
No, proper fuel,
Oh, okay.
not red diesel.
Well, the point is,
do you run red diesel? Yeah.
yeah, I run cherry. Yeah, you can't even run cherry anymore.
No. You could put biofuels though.
could do.
Chip fats.
I mean, why would anyone want to do that to their motor? I don't.
No, but isn't it interesting
No,
though?
sorry, go on.
But I was going to say, but the whole like, if it's fossil fuels that are bad, I'm not an expert at this, but if it's fossil fuels that are bad, but yet you can just go to the chip shop, put some sunflower oil in your car, like why don't like it can't be that hard to transition
Transitione.
to like a biofuel, can it?
Well, no, it can't, and that's why all these major fuel manufacturers companies are building a biofuel. I think MotoGP as of 2026 will be biofuels or renewable sources. So I mean,
but then how much land mass are you going to have to cover with all the plants to make the biofuel? I reckon just dig it out the hole till it runs out. Anyway, so energy prices, and this is I've got a little anecdotal story.
go on, crack on.
So the other week, I just tried to get some fuel, and there was no fuel in Sainsbury's at all. So no fuel, shut. And this is because, have you heard of these climate groups? One of them, the latest, after Insulate Britain, the Loft people, is it just say no to oil or something?
Stop the oil.
Just stop
the oil.
Just stop oil.
Yeah.
Just stop it.
Yeah.
Even though oil is actually a fundamental part of plastics, of all of their little fucking hippie tents they sleep in.
Oh my God.
And all of
Fuck off!
And all of their tarpaulins. And I'm sure it's got something to do with the glue that they stick themselves to the road with. Anyway, so back to the matter at hand. So I just couldn't fill up with fuel, missed a couple of stops. Anyway, managed to get some. I was chilling out. I was on the way home. Nice relaxed drive down the dual carriageway. And then out of nowhere, this woman starts like running into the road, like, stop. And she was dressed real weird. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? This is weird. And then sort of like out of my peripherals, I could see one on the other side of the dual carriageway and then like another one down there. And I was like, this is a bit weird. And I've just been thinking about these blockades, these fuel protest people. And she didn't come up to me and say anything. Like as soon as I crawled almost to a halt, I don't think I even stopped entirely, she then signalled to the other people like, bring it out. And I was like, shit. Like, this is going to be like, they're going to glue themselves to the road. So I was like, I ain't having anything to do with this. There was no signage. They didn't have any high-vis, nothing official. I was like, fuck this. So I drove through, not massively fast, but anyway, drove through. And then this farmer comes running out, kicks the side of the shag wagon.
No.
Absolutely, like, properly pummels the passenger.
Did you punch him?
I stopped. I was like, what the fuck? Got out. He then grabbed me by the throat at the back of the car.
Thought you were a hippie?
No. He thought... No, at this point, I'd then seen round the corner that there was sheep. And what they were trying to do, there were farmers trying to cross a dual carriageway with about 1,000 fucking sheep. Even though they had no signs saying animals crossing, anything like that. Anyway, so this guy's like, and he's absolutely fuming, this guy. He's like, you fucking moron, you... And I was like, fuck you, no, you're a fucking moron. Like, why can't you tell people what you're doing? You can't just stop a dual carriageway, like walk into it. Like, anyway. So, I called the Rozzers.
Did you?
I did, yeah. Fuck him. I'm not paying
Keep the
again.
edge.
Well, it's more that I wanted him to pay to fix my fucking door. I'm sick of it. That car keeps getting mangled and everything. Got beaten up by a car wash the other day. Anyway, so I was like, no, fuck it. I'm sorry. You can't just go around kicking people's cars and grabbing them by the fucking neck and threatening them. So I called the police. Yeah.
Wow. So what did the police do? Nothing.
Well, it was brilliant. I mean, fantastic. I did actually manage to get. He got back in his little truck thing, quite a new 2021 plate vehicle, actually. Obviously, back to work, fucking COVID loan. Anyway, so I got his registration, reported it to the police. This is him. Da, da, da. Next day, the police ring me up. Yeah, hi. Yeah, we've located the vehicle. I was like, okay, great, but it's owned by a company, so. I was like, and? Yeah, so we can't really do anything because it's owned by a company. Well, it's owned by a farmer. Yeah. Right, so it's probably the farmer's car, isn't it? Yeah, and I'd given an all accurate description. I was like, and they're like, so, did he have a dash cam? I was like, no, I didn't have a dash cam. She's like, well, it's kind of your word against his, isn't it, really? And I was like, do you know what? Just don't even worry about it. I should have just punched him in the face then.
Yeah.
But then if I had done that, I would have probably got in shit. But the bit that let me down the most is all the other people who are watching this unfold, because they're all sat there, not one of them stopped to be like, I saw that guy, he was fucking mental. Not one of them.
Well, but they were all like tree huggers. Can you say that?
No one was tree huggers. They weren't.
But sorry, what
they
about
were
all
farmers. They were farmers.
What about the people on the bridge? This is completely separate now.
What bridge?
The people that were going to glue themselves to the bridge.
No, that's what I thought.
Right.
That's who I thought these people were.
Flipping hell. Right, we got there in the end.
Okay, so no, I thought these people were going to bring out a banner going, put some loft insulation in.
I'm with you.
But so I was like, I don't want anything to do with this. There was no official signage. Like, I'm sorry, but if it was me, I would have put 200 yards up the road, animals crossing. Yeah. And at least when I stopped, she should have come to me at the head of the queue and said, thank you so much, we're just trying to get our animals across the road. Fine, no problem.
Oh my God.
So yeah, nothing happened. So that was an anecdotal story about Just Stop Oil. And it went on a bit long. But the point is, you can't just stop oil. You can't. It's integral to the whole system we've got. Yes, we can wean ourselves onto something else, which is what is exactly happening, but you can't just stop overnight. And all of their little, tents and stuff that they sleep in when they, Extinction Rebellion and all their tarpaulins and stuff, they're all made of plastic, which is a byproduct of the oil industry. So if you just stopped oil, like, so many things just wouldn't exist.
I'd love to know the mentality where these. I mean, you can't say brainstorming, but I've just said it. I mean, these. What's the other word for brainstorming? Think tanking. I mean,
Quangos.
What is the process of these people meeting up in their little flats and going, yeah, let's go to London and stop the traffic and we'll stop oil. That's what we'll call it. We'll just call it Stop Oil. I mean,
I know.
Oh my God.
And I'm not like, yeah, if there's a problem with the world's temperature, then yes, we need to do something about it. But you can't just stop it.
No.
You have to do something more intelligent than that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. They're all fucking twats.
But on the subject of kind of oil, I mean, should we talk about tyres? Because that is a more focus...
a more moto-focused issue.
Yeah.
So, according to our sources, there's a material inside any tyre, motorcycle, car tyre, called carbon black. And that is, again, I think it's a byproduct of the oil industry, actually.
Probably.
And that is, like, it makes up a massive proportion of tyres. And where do you think 90% of it is produced in the world? Russia. So we're not going to get any of that. And it's already caused massive problems in the tyre industry. So if you need some tyres for your bike, get them now. Even if you don't need them for another 3 or 4 months, or you're going racing this season, buy all your tyres. Yeah. Just buy tyres. Just stop tyres. Just buy tyres. So,
carbon black. I thought carbon black was like a kind of
hashish, a squidgy black.
Squidgy black.
Golf ball press.
Moroccan press. Yeah. Lovely. What was I talking about? Morocco. But yes, it's very important, and you cannot make tyres without it. So.
And feeling the pinch with the energy prices as well. It's all going fucking wrong, basically, isn't it? We should all just, I don't know.
Find an island with a big track on and some motocross tracks and some...
and invent like a mesh tyre, like a chicken wire tyre.
Well,
Chicken tyres.
tyre manufacturers can build everlasting tyres, like everlasting gobstoppers.
Yeah.
They can do it, but obviously it's not in their interest to do so.
No.
So, but if we hijacked a tyre factory and got them to make everlasting tyres, then
It's a bit of an extreme reaction to do that.
so.
So everything's going up, including the price of bikes still. So, because we were looking for our new BBB, we've got some Q&A questions coming up later.
Yes.
But we're looking to buy our new bikes for this year, for the BBB 6. And, I mean...
You can't really get anything for under £2,000. Nothing decent.
Nothing that works.
Nothing that will get us to where our destination might be.
And would be mildly entertaining or good.
Yeah.
You did a little famous shout out at the weekend.
I did. I was guest of honour at B-Moto. I was the official individual adjudicator for B-Lotto, where they gave away a brand new Panigale V4S. No one answered their phone, so they invited me instead. Which, I understand.
I didn't watch it live. Did the person who won?
He answered.
He answered.
Yeah.
Just like hello.
Yeah. And he recognised my voice, which is nice.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not a very distinctive voice, though, is it?
Anyway, the point is, we are now working alongside the guys at Apex 66, and there's a lot of kind of
You want to say
doubt.
Oh, go on. What? No.
There's a lot of doubt in these competition companies and
Oh, okay,
games.
yeah. I was going to say, you want to say there's a lot of low-rent competition companies around.
Well, there are.
Yeah.
There's lots of, yeah.
Because they seem too good to be true, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and some of the times it is. But I mean, obviously, we don't work with weapons. We don't work with idiots. Apex 66. I know the three guys. They used to work for a British motorcycle manufacturer, and they set up this gaming competition website. They give away. They've always got 40 prizes on the website. They've got over 600 winners already within the last 18 months of going. They're a legit company, so please check them out. We'll put a link in the description. I could go and boo these Dizzy. Fucking Dizzy, mate. Fuck hell.
It reminds me of a producer I used to work with, and he would call us
DJ Dizzy.
No, worse. He would call a spreadsheet a spready.
Spready.
Oh, did you get that spready I sent you? What a fucking prick.
Just look at these winners, and you could also be a winner with Apex 66. There are 2 draws a week, tickets range from £1 to £10 depending on the price, and 44 Teethers can get 25% off everything using the code 44Teeth. You've got to be in it to win it.
You couldn't get more of a classic pencil than that, could you?
A Stadler.
I mean,
What is it? HB?
This is an HB, of course.
Oh, of course.
I mean, I quite like a 2B.
Oh.
I find an
Left field.
Well, it's a bit more accurate, isn't it, a 2B? HB gets a bit fat. Yeah, you've got to keep rotating it to get the car, but the graphite out. Is it graphite? I don't think they made
oil.
graphite now. Probably oil. It's made in Germany.
Yeah.
Norris School.
Norris McWhirter. Here, mate, is your Doris a Norris?
So what have we got next then, Ali Wally?
Well, we're short on news. I mean, there's lots to talk about. Like I said, we've got lots coming up in the show, so stay with us. But racing is a particularly hot subject for both of us. Well, not us, as in racing, but racing.
We could make a comeback.
We'll get onto that later on. But racing is really bloody good at the moment.
It's amazing.
It's really bloody good. So,
I'm particularly loving. I think World Superbikes is followed on from an amazing year last year, and it's just getting better. And
yes.
now the Super Sport is right up there with entertainment level as well.
Right up there.
Right up there.
Yeah.
So that whole whoever's is Dorna running World Superbikes?
Yes. Yeah, they have been for a while. Yeah.
So they're doing pretty well. I think they're doing a pretty good job.
I've got to say, I mean, Dorna got a lot of slack when when MotoGP was bad and when they took over World Superbikes, but you can't really argue what they're doing. It's as a promotional exercise, and obviously they work with the FIM for rules and everything else, but the whole package. Last year, I mean, we talked about it. Last year was incredible, but this year looks to be. I just got over Scott really.
Yeah, but he'll sort it out.
He'll get there.
The BMW has worked quite well at Assen, which is this weekend.
Yes.
So,
yes.
but this will be post race.
This will be, yes.
So depending on if he did badly or well, we'll just cut here and go.
Yeah.
So I'm predicting Scott will do really, really well. I just don't think the bike's ready.
No. Cut.
So now we're winners.
But yeah, I think Assen. Have you never ridden Assen?
I've never been to the Cathedral of Speed.
Yeah, what a place.
I'd love to go there.
I mean, the fact that it was the best track on the British Superbike calendar says it all. But yes, back to World Superbikes. I mean, I think I've been watching some of Johnny Ray's vlogs recently. Have you seen them?
No.
Really, really good. There's a good mix of the kind of relaxed vloggy stuff, and then he's got his mate Gaz, who is a professional videographer, who kind of knits it all together. But I love the behind the scenes stuff. It fascinates me. The same reason I watch all the AMA Supercross videos, all the behind the scenes stuff. Just, I don't know. It's really engaging. And anyway, the back to the point. I've been watching Johnny Ray stuff and his conversations in the paddock with various rivals, in particular. Superglue, Keenan software glue. It's not Keenan. Bloody Razbat. What's his name?
Toprak.
Toprak.
Razbat Superglue.
My mind was going overtime then. In particular with Toprak. It's just.
I think Razbat Superglue is a much better name.
It's a weird dynamic. I mean, those boys were trying to kill each other last year.
Yeah.
And off track, the respect I think is brilliant to see
because Jonathan Ray is such a nice bloke.
Yeah.
I think that you can't nobody could be you couldn't be in an he always does the right thing.
Yeah.
He's always the perfect gentleman.
Yeah.
Win, lose, draw, crash, whatever. He's always the morally right person, and you can't ever have an argument with someone like that.
No, true.
Because you just look like a dick, don't you?
Yeah.
I tried. I look like a dick. I just want to say though quickly. I've just thought about this, and nothing to do with Johnny Ray particularly, but he's at a level that he's proper famous, isn't he? Particularly in bikeway, he's proper famous, and I do think that the ultra famous people getting into doing vlogs on YouTube, I don't know. There's something I find a bit uncomfortable about it because they're almost like when Will Smith starts doing his YouTube channel. It's like, hang on a minute, mate. Haven't you had enough with? This is before the slappy thing, but haven't you had enough with, like all the famous films and stuff you've been in, or who was that racing driver? Hulkenberg? No, not Hulkenberg. The one that beat Rosberg, Nico Rosberg. Rosbergler. He does vlogs and stuff as well, and it's like, aren't you guys just a bit too? You don't need. We need levels. Our human normal person level. We need that exposure, and if these big names come and suck it all up, I find it a little bit. I mean, Johnny not particularly, but because he's not on a global platform that famous. But people like Will Smith and F1 drivers, I find it a little bit.
But it's the behind the scenes stuff that you don't see, and
which is great for entertainment. Which is great for entertainment, and I like that, and I'm not having a go at it.
It sounds like it.
I'm just putting a flag in the air and just saying, well, what about the rest of us? YouTube was invented for, and this is a bigger conversation, but it was invented for the little guy, not the big guy who's already achieved what they want to do. Stop sucking up all of our, the audience only has a limited number of minutes they can watch a day, right? And everyone tries to, let's say it's an hour for most people, on social media a day. If it's all taken up with big people, the little people have got no chance. And we're little people. And we all want a chance. But yeah, Johnny, if you want to come on our video, then that would be great. If you could just up the numbers a bit, that would be wonderful.
We've got way more subscribers and way more video views.
And we're way faster, frankly.
We're way faster.
So anyway,
back to racing. MotoGP, I mean, you literally cannot predict who's going to win a race. You have no idea, even after qualifying, who is going to win the race. No. It is bloody brilliant.
And I mean, in the last news, I didn't predict Aprilia comeback, but I hoped for it. And it's happening.
We were sort of
I did,
chatting away after Alicia's victory, and he texted me going, "Yeah, my prediction was right." And I was like, I mean, is it me or is it?
And you shrugged it off. We can watch it back in the video and went, huh, good luck, mate.
Did I? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I even mentioned, I've forgotten his name again. Exactly the same fucking. Who's the championship leader? No, who's the championship leader? Bastianini as one of my favourite.
Is Bastianini? He's not in the championship anymore. He was.
No, he is.
Is he still?
We won last weekend, didn't he? He won in Texas, didn't he?
No.
Yeah. Who won in Texas then? Oh look, P1, Enea Bastianini. Fucking grow a knob. But yeah, so
there you go. So you can't even predict who's won it after it's been won.
well, it's that
that's
good.
my point.
They keep changing.
Exactly.
They change
exactly.
it. They keep changing it. So yeah,
I was absolutely bollocksed.
Were you?
Race, yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, he was so far up the road that you might as well have thought Rins won. Well, he wasn't that far up the road, but he did a pretty good job. But yeah, so GP Dixon on the podium as well in Moto2.
Oh, that's so good. I mean, there was a lot of doubters when he hit Moto2, and obviously he didn't have the best bike and the best package. But now he's got the team and the bike, and everything's good. And I hope you saw that interview with. You didn't see it? No. Brilliant,
mate. You didn't even know who won the Premier class race, so don't look at me like that.
Right. There's an interview he did with BT Sport, which was about his mental health and how he doubts himself, and it was really. It was just really pleasing to hear a MotoGP rider or MotoGP paddock rider talking so openly.
Yeah, and I think it's
just FYI, when you scribble on the sheet like that, it will pick up quite heavily on the microphone. So if we could,
I shall put my Stadler down.
I mean,
my Norris School HB.
Yeah.
I don't even need that. Where were we? Yeah, but I think it's good because when you're at that height, that level of competition, anything you can do to psych out your opponent or win, like to have that edge, you're going to do. And I think certainly up to now, you would not like that. It's very brave of him to do that because a competitor would see that as a weakness.
Yes. Yeah.
But everyone, I'm sure, even like Rossi, I'm sure even sitting on a grid still feels sort of that nervous, like, shit, have I still got it? Can I do this? I mean, not anymore, but... and then he rode a Petronas bike. But everyone feels that way, and everyone knows that everyone feels that way, and this nonsense bullshit bravado, it's about time it sort of, kind of... it's about time it was like, everyone feels like shit.
But it will never happen because of the natural ego you need to go racing.
Agreed.
And it will never happen.
No. But I think that was, as much as I admire him for doing that, I think it's potentially, hopefully I'll be wrong, but his competitors will now be like, oh, I can psych that guy out now. Because it's basically a Spanish paddock and him, isn't it?
Yes, but that interview was a couple of races ago, and he's already shown that he's got a pole and he's been on the podium in the last 2 races. So it's obviously not working.
No.
So
well, good.
Big up the Dicks, the Jake Dixon,
the big Dicks.
Moto3. Quick shout out to John McPhee, still injured.
I didn't watch it.
And also, as we talk, live from Portimao MotoGP. Casey O'Gorman is 1.6 seconds quicker in the Red Bull rookies than the guy in second place. That kid, I mean, if you haven't heard of Casey O'Gorman, if you haven't watched British Talent Cup, or you're not aware of riders coming through from the mini bike scene, this kid, Casey O'Gorman, is going to be the kiddie. And guess who his mentor is?
Enea Bastianini.
Bob Collins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. He did really well at Silverstone the other day.
He did. He's lost 20 kilos.
We could just talk quickly in World Superbike paddock. Bautista.
Yes.
He definitely deserves a shout out. Gelling with the bike. Obviously, he did 2 years ago when he rode it. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And the speed of the size of that man down the back straight of Aragon, because even Rinaldi, who's pretty small, couldn't get anywhere near him.
But
I will just say about Rinaldi, a bit of bad form, I thought, when he was like, oh, Stop overtaking me, Jonathan Ray. Did you see that?
No.
And it's like, hang on, it's a race,
No.
mate. You know, it's not free practice.
Talking of speed, did you see? Oh, you wouldn't.
Keanu Reeves in that bus.
No. There was the speed trap. I'm a real geek when it comes to stats and stuff, and I like watching. I like looking.
Yeah,
at all
you're
the
a regular mathematician, aren't you?
I like looking at all the stats and information on the sector sheets, and I like looking anyway. The fastest bike through the speed traps at Aragon, I was thinking, oh, it must be Bautista. It's got to be. Guess what it was?
It's probably something unexpected, like BMW or something.
BMW.
Was it?
Yeah.
Who's what? Who's BMW?
Eugene Navity.
It's fast. Just
327 kilometres an hour.
wow. Did he cut out the section at the top?
No, he was
Go down the whole track.
He was regularly the fastest guy out there, and so was the Ukrainian guy
Mikhalchek.
Yeah, sounds like a band, doesn't it? Yeah.
And he was in the. Did you watch Le Mans as well? That was pretty good.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sylvan.
Yeah.
Fellow RST factory rider now.
Yeah.
That was. I watched some of it. I didn't watch all of it.
No.
Did you? Did
No,
you stay
but-
up for 24 hours and?
No, but I'd watched obviously BSB because we just talked about that. As well.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
So and then and Jem was like getting a bit bored, like watching stuff, and I was like, oh, "Can I just watch one more race?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay." And it was the Le Mans 24 hours. But no, that was good. Yes, so yeah, good.
Suzuki. That team is so
Oh,
good. That
so
team
good.
is.
And that bike is
I
just,
know.
it makes me want a Suzuki. It is a win on a Sunday, buy on a Monday job, isn't it?
I don't think it is anymore.
No, but for me,
It should
that,
be. Okay,
like-
right, for you,
like,
right.
I
Yeah.
want that cert Suzuki.
Oh yeah.
I want it.
Yeah.
But I want it in blue. I don't like the red. I don't like the red one. Anyway, and then BSB,
Glenn Irwin. Where the hell did he pull that from?
yeah. But I feel sorry for Brad Ray a little bit. I mean, he's obviously got a good bike. But yeah, those two OMG Yamahas are looking
Yes.
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, what a switch from BMW to Yamaha. That was genius.
What's wrong with the BMW?
It's
'Cause
it's
it's-
a general. The general. You speak to the riders. It's a general thing. It's the speed isn't there. No, sorry, the speed is there. There's not an issue. It's getting out of a corner and it's just
it's
driving.
making it go in a straight line.
Yeah, it's getting the ability to drive from apex to exit without it spinning or going sideways.
They
I
should,
don't know,
they
but-
should get us on it and we could do some shakedowns and really figure out what's wrong
Really
with
shake it down.
Yeah.
Really.
Turn 5 Portimao it.
But it's a good. And we talked about this off camera earlier, but it's a good thing. The two best street legal superbikes are the Aprilia and the BMW.
But you
And-
didn't vote that for the Isle of Man though, did you?
Well, as in road bikes, for that
Yeah.
particular, for that was the Isle of Man. That test was on the Isle of Man. That was riding as fast as you can. As a road bike, I said the BMW was still the best bike
Yes.
overall for
Yes.
road.
Yes.
And it feels incredible. Yet when it comes to track and racing, it's been shocking. Same with the Aprilia. I mean, there's no Aprilia in World Superbikes, and yet they have one of the best bikes
Yeah.
in existence.
There's no correlation, but I think
No.
super stock is slightly different.
No, it's not.
It is
It's
because
not.
but the BMWs do pretty well in super stock
Yeah, but
and the Honda.
but the fact is, I think I don't want to get people to think or try and get people to think that there's a direct correlation between a road bike and a super
No,
stock
there isn't,
bike because
completely
it's
different.
not. I mean, the electronics are so different to the race electronics is so different. What you can do with
But this is why super stock shouldn't. It should be. You
Super
should have.
stock.
Yeah, you
Should
should have
be.
to run the
Yeah.
electronics that's on the bike.
yeah,
Done.
Yeah, I agree. And the same suspension, I think.
Yeah, everything. Because then
Everything.
the manufacturer would
Yeah.
actually make it good.
Yeah, rather than shit.
It's not shit. It's all right.
No, I'm just saying bikes in general.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah. I rode my S1000 in Almeria. I drove down there. I managed to get out the country, which was great, and took 10 days off and had 5 days on track at Almeria, and it rained continuously, and I think I did one damp afternoon at a very slow pace because it was covered in mud, and then drove home.
Didn't take any wets with you. Didn't take any WO2s.
I don't see the
WO1s.
point. What's the point? Unless you're racing,
WO2s.
what's the point in in putting wets on,
Oh,
really.
it's brilliant.
Not if you've got an expensive bike that you don't want to crash. While Al's fiddling with his laptop, just quick shout out to Ben at Colt Motorcycles, who sent me this in the post this morning. Very nice, and a little card. He was the guy that I bought this Colin off.
Ah, right.
And his card says, another one sold through your shout out on Insta 44 Teeth. So this is just a little thank you. I see Colin is still sat there in pride of place. Keep up the good work. From Ben at Colt Motorcycles.
Hi, Ben.
So, I mean, it just goes to show the power, our raw reach power. So if you want to give us some money for shout outs,
Do so.
do so. We could even start it at like 20 quid.
No.
Oh.
No.
But if we did like 1,000 at 20 quid, it's 20,000.
Yeah.
It'd take a long time. Probably wouldn't be that entertaining to watch. Yeah.
Anyway, should we go for some member Q&As?
Yeah, let's
Or
get into the members.
Q&As,
Yes.
member questions. Amply Moist Squid.
Just so this is members on YouTube.
Yes.
So if you're a YouTube member, it's that little box that says, "Do you want to be a member?" And then you click it and go, "Yeah."
Yeah, shout out to you guys because thank you so much for your continued support.
Yeah.
Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. Simple as that. Amply Moist Squid. And this is, I don't know, this is probably not too relevant to you.
Amply moist squid. That's
Yeah.
quite a nice name.
Yeah, it's a very nice name. He says, do you boys follow Super and Hard Enduro World Championships? I myself loved watching Hare Scramble and whatnot with the old man back in the day. But with a more serious structure and rise of some of the personalities in the sport on social media, it's quickly become one of my favourite types of racing. As in, a day in Wales with Bill, Tommy and Ed. So that is Billy Bolt, Tommy Searle and Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran. I can't remember his name. Ed.
Mr. Ed.
Anyway, those guys. Ed is basically a guy. He's mates with Tommy Searle and Billy Bolt, and they set up a similar thing to us. It's like the off-road version of 44 Teeth.
Okay.
And it's really, really good. I've enjoyed watching
What's
that
it
stuff.
called?
So Tommy and Billy have their own individual channels, and they have Ed's channel where they put the podcast stuff on, and it's just really good. It's just basically, as I said, 44 Teeth for off-road. But what I love about Billy Bolt, Billy Bolt has made off-road sexy again. Have you been watching any stuff?
No, don't like it.
Well, I'll keep this brief then. Billy Bolt has made trials and enduro sexy again, and
He's got a cool name.
he has got a cool name. Yeah.
Sounds like a
And-
fake name.
No, it's William Bolt. His name is really William Billy Bolt. But yeah, we would love to do. I would love to do. I'm sure Boothie. In fact, let's do all of us would love to do something with those boys. Like a 6-way double
Love
threesome.
triangle.
Yeah. So if you're listening, Ed,
Sextuplet.
let's set it up. Yeah.
I'll give it a go.
Scott Rankin says, will you be doing any free tech racing this year? Will there be a super naked shootout? 2 questions there, Scott. I've just read out 2. The rule was 1. But
Cheeky.
I know.
Fucking hell.
2 for 1. Bog off.
Well, yes. So there is definitely going to be a super naked test this year.
Yes.
We're going to keep it under wraps though, because it's going to be a
Yes.
pretty cool one. So look forward to that. But it's probably going to be around after July.
It'll be
time,
July,
isn't it?
yes.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
the time there's loads of stuff going on. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Racing wise, let's talk about a bit of racing, shall we? We are. I mean, the free tech thing became. It just wasn't worth us doing a full season again. We've done it. We've been there, done it. We've won the championship, and it's just another cost at the end of the day as well. So, but we are going to do the 24-hour, and I am going to be racing the Gixxer at Aberdare again. And also, what if you know that the old Spanish road racing La Beneza? Have you seen that? No, I'm sure some of you guys will be familiar with it. Google it, YouTube it. LA space B ban EZA Beneza. It's racing in this old Spanish town on shit old bikes, and it is
That sounds
brilliant.
cool.
It is. So yeah, I would love to go back there. Also, I'm going to be racing at No Limits on something pretty cool, which we won't reveal just yet, just in case it doesn't happen. But I just mentioned it anyway. So, are you doing any racing this year, Chrissy?
Nothing in the schedule.
No.
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 Maybe a wild card round. Oh, in fact, actually, I might do nothing. Well, I might video it.
You should video it,
That Millie R that track bike there is like fully ready to go as a Golden Era Superbike spec machine. So I might do a round or two on that, just for some fun, really, because it's actually more fun and more track time if you get a practice day first to do a proper decent race weekend without any fear of being, there's some proper fucking weapons on. Aren't there? They're just untrained loose cannons. So at least everyone around you is kind of, you know that if you're going to put a wheel up the inside, they can deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot safer, safer. So, and by the time you add up
a good shout.
the price, you might as well just do a race weekend. So, I'll probably do that in Thundersport. In fact, it's Snetterton 200 this weekend, but
it's next weekend.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm in Brighton, and every time I go to Brighton, bad stuff happens. And your stag do is just a good example of that.
Oh my god.
So yeah, maybe, and I can't wait to ride that bike. I think I'm really going to enjoy it. It's like a super twin, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Just a bit heavier.
Not that much, I don't reckon.
Ivan Babanovic. The last BBB was bloody brilliant. I had tears running down when I saw Boothie drift in the little Piaggio. But when can we expect a new one? Summer is coming. COVID restrictions are fewer. Maybe at the end of summer. Cheers, you sexy badgers. Well, there is one coming this year at some point. We don't know when.
I'd like to do it. Like I almost want to dedicate all of my time to BBBs. That's my favourite thing. I love doing it.
Well, you don't have to edit it, do you?
No, but we could get someone in to do it.
Yeah.
We just can't say terrible things that can't be
No,
broadcast.
this is the thing.
Which is most of it.
Yeah. But no, it is.
One day someone's going to discover a hard drive buried in the sand.
Honestly, don't.
And we'd be in a lot of trouble.
We'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Let's not even just joke about it.
Do you remember that video we were going to put up?
Shut.
Well, no, I was talking about Mary Berry. Do you remember when we were driving through London on those BMWs and the stuff that I even contemplated airing live? Just awful. I'm sorry, Mary.
Oh no, I don't. I can't remember that, which is probably a good thing.
Ugh.
But I mean, we kind of put it out there, and there was so many. At the end of BBB5, we put it out there and said, "What do you want to see? What do you recommend?" And there were so many suggestions, and we've gone with none of them.
No, well, I think this is going to be way more up to the individual's choice.
Yes.
So we're going to decide.
Let's leave it at that. That's good. That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to decide what we're going to do, and then it's up to the competitors to choose what they want to do it on.
Choose your weapon,
which I think is going to be brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Thread decline with a 3. Very clever use of the number there. When are you guys taking the 750s out for a journey again? Any travelling plan for foreseeable future? Well, we were going to talk about BBB Reload, weren't we? So I think it's a case of making things clear. Lots of people have been asking about updates, and if you've seen the last one, then you would have known that I've got some quite considerable issues with my swing arm. And I'm waiting for James. I can't. James is busy. He's got a lot on his plate at the moment. Obviously, I can't do anything without his doing. And I mean, I'm looking at the ZX7 over there in the corner.
We'll cut a shot of it now.
It's not pretty, is it?
It's not pretty.
No.
I kind of got it back. It was almost in perfect working order, sort of. And I was like, I'll just take this off. Just take that off. And it's now just a frame. But again, I can't do anything because, and I get asked this every day as well. The forks are with James, and again, he's super busy, so I don't want to put any extra pressure on him. So, but just hurry up and fucking do it, James. For fuck's sake. So I can't get it off the ABBA Skylift until the forks are here, because I need to take the swing arm out to fix my swing arm as well. It's like one of those things that you shouldn't ever touch. You should just go, yeah, it kind of works all right. Because as soon as you go, I'm going to do a proper job here,
mate,
everything falls apart around it. And it's just like, if we're going to do that, we've got to do that. We've got to do that.
Classic example of opening a can of worms.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Tyne S says, any new Reading content coming since you're both employed by BMW now? Lol. Paulus, I think this is a really good question, actually. I mean, it's not funny or exciting, but it's a really good question. I screwed around with my bike suspension, swapping in bits. Now I'm lost in the setup and don't have confidence in the bike. What should I do? There's one simple answer, and that is go back to standard. That bike has been developed.
What bike is it? Do we know?
I don't know. Doesn't specify. But yeah, the best thing you can do, put it back to standard. Find out from the local dealer or the internet. Actually, the internet, is that a good thing?
If he's still got the original parts.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people can go, oh yeah, I want to do this, this, and this. Wind everything in and out, and go, oh.
Or the worst thing, they go onto the particular forum of the bike and go,
Oh God,
best settings for a 2005 GSXR.
Yeah.
What? Useless.
Bloody useless. Yeah, but in short, put it back to standard.
Yeah. And the standard, as we've said before in a couple of videos, the standard stuff has a wider operational range, whereas the race stuff is far more narrow. So if you're out of range on the race stuff, even by a bit, you're way out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're out on the road bike, it's not that bad.
Good point, Chris. Well done.
Thanks.
James Staff says, or Staff, depending where you're from. James says, when's the new merch coming, you massive salads? Well, James, there is some new merch on the site as we speak, live now. So go and check it out. We've got some new bits coming as well. Hopefully that shouldn't take too much longer. Viscount pasty.
Oh, two amazing things,
Yeah.
like Viscount
Yeah,
biscuit and pasties.
Viscount pasty. How's about people submit their videos to you? For those that have a bike channel, you pick your favourite and announce it on the news. I think that, forget the channel bit, I think if you can send some videos in for us to use on the news, nothing illegal.
And nothing over 20 seconds.
Yes. 30 seconds. Round it up. Half a minute. Go. No? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be good. If you guys have got videos to send them in.
Kind of like a Reader's Wives thing.
Like a Reader's Wives, yeah. Yeah. Lee Smith, can we have a 44 Teeth track day? In short, yes, you can.
Sorry.
But it's just not... For us to do it in the UK, it's pretty tricky. We wouldn't make enough money to make it worthwhile.
I'm going to jump in here.
Okay.
And I'm going to commit.
Oh, God, okay.
I'm going to make a commitment.
Go on.
And I haven't spoken to you about this.
Oh, God, okay.
But I've just thought of it. I thought of it the other day, but I was going to speak to you, but I forgot. It's my 44th birthday this year.
Okay.
And for my 44th birthday, I think I might go big. Because I miss my 40th because of irritating things. And I was thinking about renting Almeria or a track and having a 44 birthday party. So, if I do that, I will commit to open up some spaces for proper legends to come along.
Okay.
How about that?
Well, I mean, we are... That's amazing.
Because then we could do a mega test. We could do a birthday, and I'm talking like, I want jacuzzis, like hot tubs, get Jimmy Fetter on the case, in each of the garages. Proper... Jen, turn off. Lads holiday.
It's a tricky one because what we talked about the other day, there's a bit of a clash going on with what we discussed the other day about a possible track day going on in a similar area.
Was that?
Yes. You've forgotten that as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
I've been struggling.
Sean Farrand says, have you ever seen a baby pigeon or do you believe them to be a conspiracy? I mean, it's true. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
No.
I haven't.
But they're not... They grow quite quickly to... I've seen small pigeons, which are probably baby ones. Because they'd be like... A baby bird is like a hairless, horrible wretch.
I suppose they do stay in their nest for long. So,
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean, actually, that's a shit question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
prick.
This is quite a good one. It's quite a current affairs matter. Richard Sharp says, after the great review of the electric trials bikes, once electric bikes get a bit better, faster, charging, would you consider buying one? And now, I mean, this is quite a good one for you, couldn't it, Chris? Far away.
Yes,
Far
because
away.
on Tuesday, which is the day after you'll see this, so tomorrow, I am picking up the BMW CE04, which is a an electric scooter, so it's a bit like the C650 and a bit like the C1, but it doesn't have a roof. But it might do because of a California thing which had a thing saying it had a roof. But anyway, and I've been very critical of electric vehicles, and I still am, because, hang on, maybe rephrase that. A scooter, I think, and an e-bicycle is a really good idea, but a 3-ton SUV being powered by batteries, I think is just stupid. We're not
ridiculous.
We're not there yet, are we?
No.
Maybe a really small car, perhaps, but a lightweight scooter, quick to charge, low weight, done. Like for nipping around town, brilliant. I think that's a good idea. So I'm looking forward to riding that. And when it first was announced, everyone was like, "What is this ugly thing?" This was like a year ago. I think it looks really cool.
Oh, it does look cool, and I think
I've actually ridden one a little bit because they had one at Barnstormer. Sorry, I didn't interrupt it. It's my ADD. But I tell you, it goes off a line very, very fast.
yeah, no, I've heard. I mean, all electric bikes do, but that particular thing, so small. I mean, yeah,
And the wheelbase is so long that you ain't ever wheeling that. It's just traction.
But the I got so much shit, and we'll get onto this later on. Actually, it's a good subject for mental health. But I got so much shit for liking that trials bike. I mean, but I guarantee you, 99.9% of the people that were giving me shit for liking this trials bike and claiming it was better than a petrol, which it is for everyone that was there, apart from the one pro trials rider who said he still preferred petrol. All of us said the electric bike was better, and it is. It's a simple fact, and it's just frustrating. Like I said, 99.9% have never ridden those electric bikes, and there's still this stigma attached to electric bikes. But one day, I will probably end up buying one. I'm not going to say what it is and what style it may be, but there's definitely a place for them at some point.
Yeah.
So,
and I think the intermediate stage is a hybrid, petrol and electric, a bit like a Formula One car. I think that would be amazing. It's not just... The other thing that annoys me, is people going to buy an electric car because it's all like environmental, getting a tax break on a £150,000 Porsche Taycan S, and it's purely a performance-based luxury wankmobile.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'd like one, but it's nothing to do with the environment. If you want to be environmental, keep your old car. That's the best thing to do. Don't buy new shit. Anyway.
This is a really good one. Thank you, Chris Kerr. What is the most pathetic excuses you each made for getting a bad result?
A bad result of what?
I'm guessing racing, but that's the first thing I thought of.
I mean, you can't argue or beat tyres, can you? Shit tyres, mate. Tyres won't warm up. Pressure's too low.
Yeah, because all the other races make that same statement. I got a duffer. Yeah, got a duffer, mate. Yeah. Wasn't hooking up as nice. Yeah. But I mean, the best one for me was at I was racing in the Triumph Triple Challenge, and it was the week after Glastonbury Festival, and I was so fucked. I was still so. I mean, I shouldn't have even bothered going, but it was Snetterton BSB, and I turned up and I just couldn't ride the bike. I was like a rolling roadblock, and I pulled in and I said I had an ear infection because I couldn't.
What? So your balance was all off?
Yeah, it was. Honestly, it was so weird. It was. Oh God, yeah. Oh, never again.
I don't need an excuse because no one expects anything of me. Well,
Mr. Podium.
Well.
In with the shout of the championship, and you fuck off for a couple of rounds.
There was only 3 people finished.
Ryan Whitehall says, broke both my legs in a little smash last year. My question is, does pleasuring yourself standing up feel better than sitting down?
No, it's way worse. Well, sitting down, lying down. I have to lie down.
I mean, yeah.
How else do you stretch your legs?
do the luge!
I roll a bit of like a toilet roll up my chest.
Last question, because we are rattling on a bit and we've still got lots to talk about and do. Ian Maley, who'd win a fight, Al, Chris or Boothie? Me.
Boothie. Sorry. I'm too old.
Boothie can't move.
Yeah, but he's got. But he will not give up.
It's all right. You can't give up if you're still chasing after someone or just
Chasing?
still trying to swing a. Mate, he can't run. He can't punch. He's got.
Okay.
And besides, I wouldn't want to hit that beautiful nose of yours.
It would cut your hand.
Right.
What's that thing saying, Mike Teabag?
Oh, that's a video of me teabagging my mate.
I wish I hadn't asked.
Oh, God. Right. It's that time.
Down to action.
Down to action, mate. Come on.
So I don't know how. I feel all right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this conversation's going to go. It's obviously a quite a vulnerable gaper I'm presenting to get absolutely ramjetted. So this goes back to the beginning conversation, which we've dragged you on for ages, about mental health. Why I haven't been involved in 44 Teeth that much recently. I've mentioned this a few times on the channel as well. I think you all know, like the regular fans know, that I do suffer with depression and anxiety from time to time, and it ebbs and flows. And I think last time in the lockdown shows we spoke about me coming off the medication, which I did, and I think coming up to around Christmas time, it was a bit of a perfect storm of shit, really. And I think I don't know if it was anything to do with coming off the meds, but anyway, some stuff had happened in my personal life, and I just lost it. And I think whether this was there's multiple factors. There's 2 years of shittery, let's face it, and I particularly have been on the fringe, let's say, of what's been going on and really not being happy with it at all. So there's been the confinement factor, there's been the lack of freedom. You can't go and do the things. You can't even daydream about what you want to do. And that's how I used to get through bad times, would be like, okay, well, let's plan a bike trip somewhere, or let's go and do something, or let's, at least have a goal or a dream. And I guess that's part of the strife. And I guess, it just came to a head of just absolute shittery. And I think the last time we filmed the news, actually, like you won't even notice this, but halfway through we had to stop filming because I was in tears. I just broke down. I couldn't operate.
And that was the first time I'd actually seen you. I mean, obviously, I've been around you for the last 8 years, pretty much most weeks, but that was the first time I'd seen firsthand how bad it was.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I was like, okay.
Yeah. And I remember you going, "It's okay, mate."
I didn't.
You did. I was wearing leathers at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway. And the
Take the piss
condom.
out of me trying to help you.
I'm not. Oh, God, Mr. Defensive. Anyway, no, it's very nice. But well, that's a good point, actually, because it's very difficult. Like, two things. Most of you aren't going to know how bad one of your mates is. You just won't, because the way that I have become an expert at masking these things, so have your friends. So it's very unlikely that, unless they've told you about it, you're even going to fucking notice.
Sure.
So it does come as a shock, and it's really difficult for friends to talk about it. So I guess what I'm talking about here now, there is no agenda. There is nothing that I want to do or say particularly. All I'm doing is saying, hey, look, I've got this problem, which I'm sure millions of you guys around the world have as well. And lucky if we get 1 million views. But lots of other people are having the same stuff, but you're not alone. And I think that's all that I'm saying is you're not alone. I feel a bit better now because of various things which we'll run through in a bit. But yeah, it was definitely the worst. This period over Christmas and just beyond is the worst I've ever felt in my life. And there was no joy. You just don't want to do anything, and it's just really difficult to get out of that funk. And
I'll just say, just quickly, sorry to interject, but it was that bad that I didn't know when I was on this launch and Chris was that you were at the rock bottom. I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know whether you'd still be here when I came back, and that's kind of what we're talking. So
yeah, it's pretty serious. And shout out to Gary Bridgestone, because without him, like I must have been on the phone to him probably like every hour, I reckon, just as an absolute fucking mess. So, massive thank you to him, and just sort of getting stuff into perspective. I mean, I'm not going to go into too much details about, some of the surrounding personal issues, but it just got to snapping point, I think. And it was just a bit of a perfect storm of shittery. So, again, Jen has been absolutely incredible, and without her, she's been encouraging me for a long time even to get help. So I was getting some therapy for the months leading up to this as well, and maybe that is part of this whole expunging of emotion and dealing with stuff. But yeah, it's I don't really know sort of what else how to explain without getting too emotional about it, and then it will become a bit of an awkward thing. But I guess what I'm saying is, I and many, many other people understand exactly what the 3% of you, or maybe 5% of you, are going through right now, and you're not alone. And as a community of mates and motorcyclists, we have something to hold on to. And I think I'm just going to try and share some of my experiences of what helped me. And all the people that I've been speaking to, again, I've got like a little walking channel now, which I do in the morning. It's called Reboot Christopher on Instagram. And I literally, it's something special. I just go for a walk every morning and just live stream and talk to people about mental health. So yeah, I'm just going to start and just go through some of the things, experiences that I've had, and the positive things. So first of all, NHS. So the NHS is the
National Health Service.
The National Health Service is obviously, it's been in crisis for years. Everyone blames someone else for it, but at the end,
the Tories fucked it. But yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm sad to say that I don't believe you're going to find much help available for you right there now. I know for a fact that if you want to get a specialist appointment to see someone diagnose your ADD or whatever, you're looking at a year easily. That's obviously because there's now a massive percentage of people who have been struggling for the last 2 years as well, who have just, there's a massive demand, and that system cannot cope. So in the simplest way, I find, is to actually try and encourage to talk about it to a friend, or if you think your friend is suffering, you need to try and talk to him about it. And that is it's a very difficult subject to approach. So I guess, I don't know. I'm kind of waffling on a bit here, but I don't really know what the main thrust of how to yeah.
Well, I think we're just talking about it is a good thing, because there isn't enough discussion.
No.
And letting, the fact is, mate, you've been through a lot, and you're here now. It's good. And any advice that you can give to other people,
okay,
and positivity is only a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I hit the rock bottom.
Yeah,
like I've been there, and I saw what my life was like without. Like, I saw what it was going to be, and it was just, it was a bad thing. So somehow, with the help of friends and family and loved ones, been able to get back on track, which is great. I am now back on medication, and again, that was a bit of a perfect storm, because when this other incident happened in my life, I'd literally just started going back onto the meds. And if you go onto medication, I'm on citalopram, but there's loads of other ones. Generally, the first couple of weeks when you start taking them is really bad, and it's way worse than if you weren't taking them at all. But you've got to sort of push through that bit. So I was in the height of that. I didn't eat anything for 4 days, and it was just it was horrific. It was horrific. But I think the best thing I've done is walking. And it sounds so, I think I spoke about this last time as well, but it's so, like, I don't know about you guys, but there's so many barriers to stop me doing things, and that's when I go, oh, I can't be bothered to do that. I can't be bothered to do that. Don't want to go to the gym. You need fresh gym kit. I've got to drive the car there. There's loads of people there.
Even driving, even getting out of the house is a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is a big deal for when you were suffering. So that freedom of just being able to just get out and do something without getting in a car, without needing any kit, without getting changed, without, like you said, I remember you saying you don't even have to have a shower. You just get up and that's it, gone.
Because I would always find the worst times for me were in the morning. So I'd often lie in bed for like hour and a half, 2 hours, just worrying about regrets of the past and worries and anxieties of the future, and it doesn't do anything for you, and you've just got to try and make an easy route out of bed and straight put your boots on and go for a walk straight away. And the first 5 minutes is pretty miserable because it's cold, sometimes rainy, but within 10 minutes I feel so much better, and I know me sat here telling you, hey, go for a walk, you'll feel so much better, it's just another one of those things that you think won't work, but
just keep going though, because
I promise you it will.
You didn't feel the benefits until after a couple of weeks, did you? Not tangible benefits that you can that allows you to say going for a walk. I mean, now long term.
No, I reckon I felt the benefit.
Okay, but as something that you can just say yes, it definitely helped straight away. It took you a few weeks to kind of get up to it and get in a rhythm and like this sort of routine, if you like.
Yeah, it took me time to get into the routine, but even from the first time when you come back from your walk, I already felt better.
Yeah. Okay.
So it is a quick fix, and whether that's to just do with the blood flowing around your body, and it's just an easy thing to do. So I can highly recommend that, and you can join me for my morning walks again on my Instagram channel. I'll put a link in the Desi. And there's just a like-minded support community out there, and we talk about bikes and stuff, and that's the other thing, and this leads me on to something I want to do. So I find when you're like, the last thing you want to do when you're at the wit's end, last thing I wanted to do was call, and I'm not criticizing any of these charities, they do amazing stuff obviously, but I just felt it wasn't the right thing for me to call up the Samaritans or Calm or Mind or any of those organisations. It just felt like it was too miserable. It just felt a bit like, I don't know if that almost was too embarrassing for me in myself to do. I don't know why, but it just wasn't really for me. So again, I've learned that the best support I think you can have is through a supportive network of mates. And if you don't have mates, supportive network of strangers. So what I want to try to do, and again, make this fun, and it's not all about mental health and you sit around crying and moaning about your problems. We all, for example, this community, we love motorbikes, right? That's our life, and we can talk more about how motorbikes make us feel when we go and how happy they are and everything and all that stuff. But that as a community is a great place to start. So I've come up with this idea, which is to create like a sort of little symbol, like a little sticker, which you'd stick on your bike, and it's a little sign. You don't even have to do anything, but it's a little sign that says to someone who may see it on your bike, I understand you're not alone. And it's as simple as me telling you you're not alone. So that sign, that organisation, I think we'll call it, because it's not a charity, because I don't want it to be like, charity man, like, how are you? Are you all right?
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. But it's called Permission to Talk. Again, from what I've sort of experienced is, if I knew I was in a situation where I felt like I was allowed to talk, or even someone had given me permission to talk, I would open up and talk about it. So if you said to me, and you didn't know I had any problems, like, oh, I'm struggling a bit, lockdown's been a bit tough, blah, 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 I would then go, oh, okay, without even thinking, oh, I need to talk about my mental health, it'd be like, oh, I have permission to talk about this, we can have a discourse together, and I can open up as well. So I think it's as simple as that. And from a mate's perspective, rather than trying to say, how are you, mate, where I might be fine, but just you doing that how are you, mate, makes me think, oh yeah, I'm a mentalist, aren't I? Because you might be feeling all right at the time. So there's so many complicators, and it's so difficult. And I also want to say this. In fact, I might have to put a thing at the beginning. I am not a doctor. We are not doctors.
No.
Like if you are struggling, you need to speak to your medical healthcare professional, whatever in your situation. We are not doctors. Please,
Disclaimer.
Massive disclaimer. I am just a friend of yours trying to tell you what I have done, which helps me. So, yeah, please, that's a really serious thing. Like I'm not, a medical professional by any means.
Can I just say something quickly?
Go on.
Now, just because you haven't been labelled or diagnosed or, or kind of pigeonholed into having a mental health issue, or I think it's really important for people to realise. And I know I'm not saying everyone doesn't know this already, but I think for certainly a few of people I know, just because you haven't been labelled with ADD or depression or anxiety or something like that, you still have a mental health to look after, and that's a how do I make this out without sounding a bit dicky?
I think I understand where you're going.
Yeah.
You're saying just because someone hasn't said to you,
yes,
you've got depression,
yes,
it doesn't mean that you don't have it.
No,
and
exactly.
I think everyone, like even the strongest-willed person and happiest person in the world, in this situation of where we are with the world and what's going on, you've got to be real tough to be resilient and a happy person in this climate. So everyone's feeling it, and we all know it, because everyone, and this is why people are like, sod it, I'm going to go and buy the bike of my dreams, which is why bike prices are so high. Or it's just a very difficult time for humanity, and I think that it's so important to recognise that it's difficult, and that everyone else is feeling various forms of what the people who are really struggling feel.
It's just the timing of everything. As you said, the last couple of years have been shit, and then now we've got the cost of living crisis that we've already mentioned, and just everything. I've seen mates who I thought were the strongest minded and the most sort of hardcore of mates who all of a sudden now they're suffering too, and it's.
First, turn off the news. That's a good thing to do.
Definitely.
All of that. It's a load of shit.
Take it off your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all shit anyway. It's just anyway. Let's not get into that.
Yeah. So permission to talk. I don't know where I want it to go yet. It might just be something. It might not be anything. But it's kind of like a little thing that I could see on your bike, and I'd just be like, a bike meet or a cafe, like, oh, nice sticker, mate. Yeah, cool. It might be, you've got a badge on or whatever, a t-shirt, and you just sort of give a nod to someone, because sometimes that's all you need to make yourself feel better. Yeah. You don't need to have this, come on everyone, let's sit down in a big circle and all of that stuff. Like, that's not what I wanted. I wouldn't go, oh my God, that's what I really want to go and do.
But then again, some people might want that.
They might do, and this is why the problem is so difficult, because everybody is so wildly different, and everything, and lots of people, things work for some people, some medications work for some people, and not for others. We're all completely different, but one continuing theme, which is, I cannot see how it's a negative, is talking, communicating, and making sure that person has permission to communicate and feels safe enough to do so. And I think that's the starting point for hopefully helping some people out. And maybe, I might drive around the country, have some meetups, and again, it won't be like, hi everyone, let's all sit in a circle. It's like, hey, cool, we love bikes. We all know why we're all struggling. We all have difficulties and, whatever. And that's enough. It's kind of enough. I don't want to sit here and, talk to someone. I talk to loads of different people about all of the problems. It's just.
So everyone's different anyway, aren't they? I mean, some people aren't going to have the confidence to have a sticker and want to talk to people.
No.
Some people are so insular and confined that they will only talk to to their friends and family about it, and
or no one, which is the
well,
worst
yeah,
case scenario.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because if you don't talk about it, you're never going to get better. And that's a. I think we as even again, I'm not a doctor, but I think if you don't identify that problem needs to be aired, and there's zero shame in it, zero shame. It's the same as having any other disease, illness, and you know I can guarantee you, if you're sat on a tube train, 50% of those people are probably feeling the same as you, but only only takes one person to be brave enough to talk about it, and then you could all have a wonderful conversation. But it's the fear of how's that person going to treat me? Is that stranger going to am I going to have a bit of a freak out? So
did you not find that riding bikes made things better, or were you that so far into
I didn't want to do anything.
Didn't want to do anything. Yeah.
And I still struggle. I'm still in it. I'm definitely not through this, but I'm through the worst of it. And I've got the tools, some tools now, thank you, through therapy and talking to people, to help me through it. But yeah, I don't. I'm not motivated, and it's really difficult to explain because I've got this amazing stuff, but it doesn't make any difference. It's just like you're still unsatisfied and you've still got problems. You need to. You need to. Well, I don't know what you need to do is the honest answer, but I understand the complete lack of motivation. So that's something I'm trying to do. And then, and again, back to the walking thing, it's the easiest thing for me to do. And I always come back from that walk. Even halfway through that walk, I'm thinking about stuff I might want to do that day. Whereas before I left, I didn't want to do anything apart
rotting
from
in bed.
Just sit in it.
Yeah.
Just sit in my rot.
Yeah.
So I would like to try to do something, and this little experiment, the Permission to Talk sticker thing, if you want one, they're going to be free, completely free to buy. We will ask you to pay for postage and packing though, so it's going to be as like a nominal, we'll work out the price, I don't know, it'll be on the 44 Teeth website, but the stickers will be free. Let's see how it goes, and it's just a way of trying to do something. And even if no one buys one and I still have a thing, and at least you might know what it is, and I don't know, maybe this conversation's helped you. But yeah, there's.
But giving back, I think it's an admirable thing, mate. I think there's no benefit for you doing this. It's just
no. It's been really stressful, actually.
Yeah,
it has been really stressful. Yeah. But then it's like the best story I can talk about the whole Permission to Talk thing came up when I was on my morning walk. And I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but anyway, I was waiting. I often go to buy a croissant and an iced coffee in the morning at my village shop, and I was waiting outside just answering some live questions. Anyway, I finally went in, and then all the old ladies in the village were like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh," and I was like, "Oh, I'm just doing a live stream." Like, "Oh, wow," and I was like, "Yeah, I do it every day and talk about mental health." And then as soon as I said that, like a couple of the old ladies were like, "Oh," like got awkward, not like, "Oh my God, you weirdo," just like many people do.
Yeah.
When it's something like,
Yeah.
How do I react?
Yeah.
What do I do? And then anyway, they sort of made a bit of a joke about it, and then not a joke, not a horrible joke, but anyway, left. And then, but the shopkeeper, who didn't say anything at that point, she then spoke up and said to me that, and started talking about mental health and how her daughter's really struggling at school, and just before lockdown, sadly, the dad passed away, and how she's being bullied and stuff like this, and then how and it was a really beautiful conversation, and because I had given her permission to talk about it, she opened up, and I think, and that's kind of how this horrible massive cloud of mush is. I'm trying to get into like a reasonable answer of something.
That's a nice, like, now it all makes sense.
Okay.
It's a nice what's the word? Well, an explanation of it all. It's just
like I didn't say anything. I didn't go up to that woman and say, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you,
she wouldn't have mentioned anything.
No, they'd have gone, "Oh, I'm fine. Busy.
Yeah.
Gotta hustle. All that shit.
Yeah. All the shit small talk you do. How you doing? Yeah, all right, mate. Give me a fucking Red Bull and fags.
Yeah, because I again, from experience, if I might have had a really shit morning, and then maybe spoken about it on my thing. Oh, I've had a shit morning. But then in the afternoon, I might be feeling better. But then if someone comes to me and says, "How you doing?" I'm not in the same frame of mind, and this is why it's such a difficult thing. Not that it's a problem that someone asks me that, but I'm just not I'm in a closed space. I'm not just going to suddenly go, "Oh, well, actually, I've thought about cutting my wrists this morning," or whatever it is. You're not going to. You're not just going to go, "Oh, how you doing today, mate?" "Yeah, all right. I'm fantasizing about suicide right now." It's not. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. But yeah, I think let's have there's no bad things to say. Let's have an open discussion, and I understand. So, and I'm sure many of you do. Sorry. Yeah, and it's difficult. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But then I don't know. I'm waffling on. Waffling on. Cheers.
Well done, mate. Batch is about to die anyway.
So we all. Should we go pizza?
Some fucking pizza.